Meet the newest ultimate ATV, which is called MAX. And the thing is going to become a new king of the industry. I'll tell you everything now. Let's go. Hi there, as usual it's me, just a voiceover, you're watching Review Machines, and this is the newest ATV MAX. Today we are filming in the beautiful lands, where we are going to make all crucial tests of the new vehicle. We'll try to find out why it's going to become a leader of the industry, what solutions in the design will have to do that, and we will test everything in practice. But before that, let's review this outstanding machine. It's time to begin, let's do it. Well, first of all, let's take a look at the exterior of the ATV. I think the ATV looks insane, and this is obviously the first advantage of the machine. It looks bright and futuristic, every part is in its place. There are no unnecessary elements here. The lighting plays a big part in the ATV's look. The front headlight unit fits the overall concept perfectly, with all modes, running lights, powerful low and high beams. The rear LED lights also match the futuristic design. Yes, MAX looks impressive, but let's move to some numbers. This version is called MAX Commander. The vehicle is road legal with all standard dimensions. The length is 4080 mm, the width is 2500 mm, the cabin height is 2690 mm, the drive weight is 2900 kilos. It's built around all-metal body with integrated frame. One of the key features is an articulated frame with hydraulic steering. It uses a heavy-duty hydraulic cylinder. This boosts off-road capability and makes maneuvering smooth, while keeping steering light and easy for the driver. But the machine also has a skid steering function for tight turns. This function is achieved by braking one side. This version of the ATV is equipped with a diesel engine. The access to it and all the main components is from inside the cabin, an important feature for expedition vehicles. It's 2.4 liters, 4-cylinder Kubota industrial turbo diesel, producing 65 HP. The engine works with a specially adapted manual gearbox. The access to the transmission components is also from the cab. The drive goes from the engine to the gearbox, then with drive shafts to axles equipped with electric rockers. From there, chain drives send torque to the wheel reduction hubs. This uses innovative, lightweight and durable plastic sprockets and reinforced chains. The wheels are 1650 by 570 mm on bed lock rims. The vehicle is equipped with a central exhaust inflation system. The pressure adjustments can be made either to all wheels at once or axle by axle. This is useful on steep descents and climbs. The tire inflation happens very quickly. Lifting the front floor panel, we see the winch. The cable runs in the central line, without any bends during operation. You can also see a section of the hydraulic lines here, running through metal pipes inside special channels in the vehicle's frame. Huge attention has been paid to the ergonomics of both interior and exterior. Take the rear door, for example. It consists of an upper and a lower section. Notice how the upper section opens. It doesn't just flip up, like usual, but moves completely out of the body's footprint. This lets you stand at full height on the lower section, while out on a swamp or water. It's incredibly handy for fishing, hunting, or just scanning your surroundings. But the lower section isn't ordinary either. It easily folds down into a ladder. I have to say, this level of attention to comfort is really refreshing. There are also handy side ladders for roof access. where a spacious roof rack is available as an option. The front door doesn't open downwards as usual, it slides to the side. If the vehicle is stuck in mud and you need to get in or out, a downward opening door scoops up mud and brings it inside. With the sliding door, that problem disappears. Up front, there are 2 seats for the driver and passenger. The controls are standard: steering wheel, pedals, manual gearbox lever, except for the brakes. Braking is controlled by 2 levers, which also handle the skid steer function. Inside everything looks great. All the buttons are labeled with large clear icons. Up top there is a dashboard with sharp graphics and all the essential info. A nice feature, the display actually shows the exact model and color of the ATV. Right next to it, it's multimedia screen with music, navigation and all the other features of modern systems. The large opening provides access to the rear section. And of course the expensive panoramic glazing is striking. From the inside it gives a super view. The rear interior can be designed depending on the customer's needs. It's possible to set up a large sleeping area. Inside there is upper and lower lighting, large side windows, a roof hatch, multimedia, an autonomous heater, and other comfort options. You can install 2 comfortable passenger seats, or on the other hand, make a simple interior for commercial use of the vehicle. Well, we've covered the main features of the ATV, now let's move on to the real-world tests. Let's go! Our journey begins in the beautiful endless fields, and from the very first runs it's clear that the engine is a great match for this vehicle. The machine feels torquey and responsive in every gear. The top speed is 45-50 km/h. By the way, instead of the Japanese Kubota engine, it's possible to install here, for example, a fully electric version. The customers can also pick from 3 different trim levels with various equipment. You can even outfit the vehicle with some non-standard options, like a snow bucket or even a plow. When driving on field roads, it's recommended to lower the pressure a bit. The inflation system works fast, and the result is a very smooth and soft ride. It's comfortable to travel, even on long distances. Thanks to the articulated frame with hydraulic steering, the handling is also light and comfortable. No sharp jerks during maneuvering, which are typical for skid steering systems. But let's not forget, the skid steer function is still here. It's indispensable for rapid maneuverability in tight spots, like when you need to turn around on a tiny patch. So the combination of these 2 systems gives you both comfort in handling and the ability of skid steering. We're approaching a large swamp, a perfect location to test our ATV. Without any hesitation, we are moving on. In these hard conditions, the vehicle makes full use of the articulated frame's advantages. The stability under load, and the snake in motion that constantly shifts the track, searching for the most effective wheel grip in the boggy mire. The lower gears on the gearbox act as a low range. Combined with the wheel reduction hubs, the torquey diesel delivers excellent performance, even with all the lockers engaged. Unsurprisingly, we see Max confidently going in any direction across the swamp. Another advantage of the articulated frame over skid steering is that we move and maneuver while delivering constant torque to all 4 wheels. With skid steering, to make a maneuver, we are forced to shift torque from one side to the other. As a result, one pair of wheels is braked, and in really tough off-road conditions, that can work against the vehicle. It's reassuring to know that the skid steer function is still in our inventory, sometimes it's indispensable. here on our way there are impassable deadfall debris. Of course you could go around, but this is a test, so we are heading straight through it. The all-metal body with integrated frame lets us push through without worrying about damaging anything. As always, it's hard to convey the steepness of a climb on camera, but we are facing a really steep one right now. In situations like this, let's not forget the axle-by-axle inflation feature. When climbing, we deflate the front axle. Alright, shall we give it a try? To be honest, it's a bit scary even to watch. But as we can see, Max tackles the obstacle calmly and smoothly. By the way, coming down is no easier than climbing up. On the descents, we'll lower the pressure in the rear axle and move under engine braking, without any sharp stops. And this time open water test, let's go! The vehicle's frame consists of two sealed sections, which together with big wheels provide excellent loading ability. But if you often cross water obstacles, it's recommended to use special tires that will give you more speed on water. But even without that, Max moves here quite briskly. For safety, each section of the frame has pumps that will pump out any water that gets in. By the way, the skid steering function comes in really handy here. On water, maneuvering by articulating the frame is trickier than using skid steer. Sure, the vehicle won't fight against the current, but on calm water it can get around perfectly well. In these shots you can see we are moving against the wind, and let's watch as we climb back onto the shore. And now it's time for our favorite topic, let's talk pricing. Max is a striking and capable all-terrain vehicle. The creators aimed to combine the most successful solutions in the industry, and as we can see, they are doing a great job. As for pricing, as always, it depends on the configuration, but the base version of the Max Commander will cost about $120,000. Well, let's call it a day, my friends. Thanks for having a ride with us. Please post your comments, what you think of this ATV. Consider watching another our video about similar vehicle. Stay with us, there will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.